Hello. Just watched your second CC. Again, really great work. You guys have a nice relationship, and I love your prompting and tone and presuming competence. Again, good job pushing through the unreliable speech and focusing on the lesson. And let me look at your reflection. Yeah, that's good to have 15-20 minute seated goal, or even just session goal. But remember that it's totally fine while you're reading, and encouraged if he needs to get up and roam around the room. And then just, at the beginning of the session, set the expectations. Like, we're gonna work for 30 minutes. We're gonna do 4 questions after every chunk. While I'm reading, you can, have a fidget, do whatever, walk around the room, whatever you need. But then when I'm done reading, I'm gonna help support and coach your body back to the table. We'll answer these questions, and then you can move around again. And just really stick with whatever you say. And yep, pencil grip is always good to readjust. Watch out in your kind of reflection, or even if you're talking to parents or anyone, but remember, we want to take that kind of behavior word just almost out of your vocabulary entirely. And instead of behavior, his impulsive body or his impulsive motor actions or impulses, but try not to think of it as a behavior. For the 26 to the 3 boards, he's doing really well on the 26, so I would stick with that. But typically, you have the 3 boards. I put them on the table. It just gets easier over time, being able to grab or flip through whatever board you need. And you're on those prompting heavy, and then, minimizing the gestural prompts and directional, and just kind of sticking with continuation. And once they're on the 3s with very minimal prompting and mispokes, then you move to the 26. But this guy, you guys are definitely on the 26, so I wouldn't, unless he seems like super duper dysregulated. You could always pull out the board and say, okay, let's just finish on the 3s. So that kind of helps, lower the motor challenge, promote a little more success, and might regulate him and kind of ground him in a way. It's hard using the transcript. Again, that just comes with time. It seems annoying to have to write down the keywords and the questions and answers, but I promise it's a great break for the speller. And then eventually, once you're seeing clients back to back, it's ends up being a really good break for you, and you kind of cherish those moments when you get to write a sentence down. And if they're ever answering, more than 3 or 4 words, then I typically, because I just can't remember, they'll write down, they'll poke a few words, and then I write down what they said. But if it's just 1 word answers, then I write down the answer after they've poked all the letters. Yeah, definitely try some more semi-opens. Hopefully the options are far enough away on the board so you don't have to do any prompting to get going, and then you know where he's going and you can prompt from there. Prior knowledge, yeah, definitely. Whatever, I really haven't met a client that hasn't known a prior knowledge, and he's old enough that I'm sure he's been exposed to plenty of things. And let me look at my notes now. Yeah, great prompting, great tone. After the second spell, with little mispokes, start to green and just stick with greens for the rest of the questions. Remember that you want nice, slow, purposeful pokes. If he's doing spell onlys and going really fast, then it's just not challenging enough, and those super speedy pokes end up looking really good, but in reality, the faster the pokes, it typically means the more unreliable pokes they are. And you want slow and purposeful. I love that he has that stuff down by his feet. Good job coaching him to sit up straight. And then, do you have a number stencil board? If so, I would use that instead of the laminate. Oh, so in my notes, yeah, I guess you did jump down at the right time for the 3s, which was great, and then just jump back up. That transition is always never a set thing. Sometimes you start on the 26 and it's great for a few sessions, and then they need the 3s, but you can go back and forth even in one long word. But instead of, I think in this instant, instead of jumping down to the 3s, I would have just prompted a little bit heavier, given more of that gestural or directional, to see if you could have supported him that way, because he is doing so well. And yeah, keep up the good work. Let me know if you have questions.